everyone. This is Hareesha from H&B Premier Tax and Accounting LLC. I'm a CPA here in Long Island, New York. Today, I want to bring you very good news for a lot of small businesses and business owners. This is a change that White has requested for SBA to implement into the Paycheck Protection Program loans. So most of you know, if you are in business, if you follow the financial news and stuff, during the pandemic, the Paycheck Protection Program loans was implemented to help a lot of small businesses to get required funding. They could either keep their employees in business or continue to keep their businesses open. So what SBA realized was, a lot of big businesses, or corporations that are established, was getting, funding through this program, but, not many small businesses were getting enough support. So the White House announced these new changes to aim most of these funds towards the small businesses that's really struggling, really trying to keep ends meet to get most of this funding. So what are the new changes? So they came up with exclusive loan processing period where it started from February 24th until March 9th. They're going to accept only loans from businesses that has 20 or fewer employees. So if you have a business that had more than 20 employees, you have an application already in the process, that will get processed. But they will not accept new applications from large businesses which are more than 20 employees businesses from February 24th to March 9th. So during this period, only small businesses can submit applications through lenders. So the lenders will have enough time to process these small applications. Now, the main thing that they announced, with these new changes was the calculation to, Schedule C filers. Like who are Schedule C filers? If you are someone getting a 1099 or you're a contractor, and then you file a Schedule C along with your tax return, this is the form Schedule C. If you file this form, right, take a look at your tax return in 2019 or 2020. So this is you. You could be eligible for this loan. Most people even don't know, like insurance brokers, people drive like Uber, Lyft, like taxi drivers. Or anybody that work in gig economy that doesn't get paid through a W-2. If you got paid, from a 1099 and then you continue to, work that way, get paid, like that. So this is something that you could take advantage of. If you file, 1099, if you file a Schedule C in 2019, right? So you could, apply for Paycheck Protection Program loan. The problem, was the previous rules, guidelines that SBA gave, you had to calculate, your loan amount based on the net income, right? So what is net income? Net income is like, let's say if you drive Uber, right? So throughout the year, you earn $50,000, in income, right? So that's your top line. So then you have expenses, you have your the gas, tolls, vehicle repair and maintenance, all of that, right? So let's say that's 35,000, and then you could claim depreciation on your assets. So that's a tax deduction that most people get to deduct. If you have equipment that you use in the business, you have assets that you use in your business, right? So let's say your depreciation is 5,000. So you have your income, you have your expenses, you have your depreciation, so you get your net income. Now it's 10,000, right? So the previous rules allowed people to calculate their loan amount based on their net income. So the formula was you divide your net income by 12 and then multiply that by 2.5 times. So which will give you $2,000, around $2,083 loan. So this was very, very small, right? So the White House and the SBA realized this, so they said because of this calculation, right, people that has a businesses like this, or even if they have a loss, they will not be able to get any kind of support through this program. So they said, let's change the rules, right? So they said, instead of calculating the loan amount based on net income, why don't we let them calculate the loan amount based on gross income, right? So based on their revenue. So now instead of calculating based on 10,000, they could calculate their loan amount based on 50,000, so which will give them a loan amount of $10,000 and $10,416. So that's almost like 5 times more loan amount that you could get. And then eventually these loans will be forgiven if you meet the certain criteria in the program. Now I could give you one example. I had a client that came in that she wanted to get the Paycheck Protection Program loan, which I helped, and then she submitted the loans through a large bank, and then all of a sudden this change came. So I immediately called her and then I told her, get in touch with your bank and then ask them to pull back your application or revise the application based on the new guidelines. So based on the previous guidelines, she was qualifying only for $5,000 and change for the loan. So then immediately since we discussed, and then I advised her to go back and talk to a bank and change the application, which she did. And then now she's qualifying for $19,000 worth of forgivable loans. So that's almost like $14,000 more that she would not have been eligible to get if this change did not happen. So this is very, very important. A lot of people could get help. A lot of people could get a significant amount of support to run their businesses and also improve their businesses, or keep going if they can't afford to pay bills. You might want to talk to your tax accountant, advisor, and then check into this. So the first thing you should do, you should take a look at your tax return and see if you're filing a Schedule C. And then here's another pro tip. Take a look at your Schedule C for 2019 and 2020, and then look at which one has higher revenue, right? So if you have a higher revenue, you could choose to use 2019 for your calculations. If you have a higher revenue in 2020, you could use 2020 for your calculation. And you need to have your Schedule C prepared. So if your Schedule C is not ready yet for 2020, make sure that you gather all the information that you need to complete your Schedule C, and then talk to your accountant and provide them with the information so they could help you complete your Schedule C. Now, what are the other changes came along with this new update? Previously, if somebody had a felony records, right? If they are like a 20% or more owner of the business, that business would not qualify for a Paycheck Protection Program loan. Now they change those rules to make it like if someone has only time that a business would not qualify if owners 20% or more owners has a fraud related felony. If they have any other felony records not related to fraud, then they could still they will be able to qualify. And then also there was a rule before that if a business owner had defaulted on student loan payments, they would not be able to get Paycheck Protection Program loans. So now new rules, it's going to relax that. So you could still go ahead and apply. And one other thing that I came across, we have some business owners that do not have a green card or not a U.S. citizens, right? And then they did not have a social security number. So then in those situations, they were not able to get the Paycheck Protection Program loans for their businesses. Now they relaxed those rules. Now legal residents that has work visa or tax ID could apply for Paycheck Protection Programs loans and then qualify for these loans. Now these are like major developments. A lot of business people could get advantage of these programs. Now the challenge with this is another challenge with this is like some banks has rules that you need to have a banking relationship with them to go ahead and get these loans. So there are like a lot of financial firms that support people to get these loans other than banks. Like as a matter of fact, we could help a lot of our clients to get these loans through AICPA has a CPA loan portal, through that which we help a lot of clients. So if you don't have a banking relationship, if you need someone to guide you through this process, you could certainly feel free to reach out to us. We if it's a good fit, we could see if you can help you to navigate this process. And so having said that, so I want you to go check your individual situation and see if you can get advantage of these programs or not. I hope you like and you learn something new, and then this information is valuable to your business. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe to our channel and give a thumbs up. Until I see you in the next video, stay safe, take care of one another.